There's breaking news that is coming in. All news journalist Mohammed Zubair has sought an urgent hearing in the Supreme Court citing death threats. Now, Sukirti joins us with the very latest. Sukirti, what more can you tell us about this?
Well, yes, it is actually Advocate Colin Gonsalves, who's a senior advocate in the Supreme Court. He appeared for Mr. Mohammed Zubair today in the top court of the country, and before a bench of which was headed by Justice Indra Banerjee. He mentioned that Mr. Mohammed Zubair is the co-founder of All News. He's a fact-checking journalist, but FIRs were registered against him, post which he was arrested, and I'm seeking urgent bail for him because he faces death threats. There are people who are saying that they will kill him, and for that reason I want this plea to be heard urgently. To that, Justice Indra Banerjee took cognizance of the fact that there is an urgent need in this matter, which is why she said that we would list this tomorrow, but it is still subject to what the CJI will decide, because CJI is the ultimate authority on taking a call on when a matter is to be listed. So while there is likelihood of the plea to be heard, a finality will be achieved only once the CJI takes a call on it. And just to give a brief background of Mr. Zubair's current status and what all of this case is about, currently Mr. Mohammed Zubair is in Delhi's Tihar jail. He was first arrested on June 27 by the Delhi police in a case that pertains to a tweet that Mr. Zubair had put out in 2018. The charges in that case are with regard to hurting religious sentiments through that tweet. Later, he was taken to Sitapur in Uttar Pradesh and was presented before the Sitapur court because he faces an FIR from earlier, which was registered in UP in the Khairabad district. That particular FIR is on a tweet that Mr. Zubair had put out earlier, in which he had called 3 Hindu seers as hate mongers. Regarding that tweet as well, he faces charges of hurting religious sentiments, and the Sitapur court recently allowed 14 days of judicial custody for him. Because he was already in Tihar in one case, so he will continue to be there, but 14 days later he is supposed to be presented before the Sitapur court. What Mr. Colin Gonsalves told the Supreme Court is that regarding this UP FIR, they had earlier approached the Allahabad High Court. However, in the month of June, the Allahabad High Court had refused to quash this FIR. So Mr. Zubair's plea right now in Supreme Court is going to be about quashing of the Uttar Pradesh police FIR as well as an urgent bail for him because he faces these death threats.
Right. So, Sukirti, essentially, Colin Gonsalves, appearing on behalf of Mohammed Zubair, has moved for urgent bail based on these death threats. And what we're understanding is that this matter is likely to be heard tomorrow, but this is subject to clearance from the Chief Justice. What bearing does this hearing essentially now have on his case going forward?
Well, it would be very important for him, Rishika, considering, he's been in the midst of all of these multiple FIRs that he's facing, one in Delhi and then this particular one in Uttar Pradesh, and currently because the Sitapur court allowed for 14 days of judicial custody, so that is why Mr. Zubair is continuing to stay in the Tihar jail in Delhi. So for him, it would be a huge relief, though there are a lot of ifs and buts that are, supposed to be placed here. But if he gets a listing tomorrow, and if he gets any kind of a relief from the Supreme Court, that would be a huge victory for him, because currently authorities, police authorities across states seem to be after him because of all of these cases that are registered against him. So any order from the top court of the country would end up, because it is the top authority, all of that decision will be the overarching one, and that will decide the road ahead for Mr. Zubair. So he would desperately be waiting for a relief from the top court. So today Justice Indra Banerjee seems to have taken cognizance of the urgency in the issue, but everything now rests with the CJI on whether he decides to list it tomorrow or not.
All right, thanks very much, Sukirti. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates.